Hello, welcome to another quick maths video by Hello Maths. So today I'm going to be looking at derivatives again, but this time I'm going to be explaining what the chain rule is. In the last video I showed you the power rule, which works for simple polynomials for finding the gradient of the tangent to a curve. But the thing is, I explained that only works for polynomials, which works quite nicely, but obviously won't work for other more complex equations of the line. So here I have y equals x plus 1 all squared. Now I'm going to, obviously that's a bit different, so we can't just use the power rule on it straight away. Although in this instance, I'm going to show you how you can expand that to get a simple polynomial such as x squared plus 2x plus 1, which is the same thing, might add, just a little equal sign between that. And we could use the power rule to solve this, and I'll show you how. But I'm also going to show you how you could use the chain rule instead to solve this, which will both give you the same answer. So first, let me just draw the graph. So I'm going to do the power rule first, a little recap of this. So what this is basically going to look like is it's just going to cross at 1 from x 0, and its vertex is going to be at minus 1 for y 0, and it's just going to be the same nice parabola we used, the perfect parabola. Something like that. Obviously that's not accurate, but just assume it crosses at 1 there. So to use the power rule on something with more than one term, we just do it on each term individually. So the derivative of y, so I'm going to find the derivative of everything. So derivative of y with respect to x, we just leave it like that. That's telling us we're working out the derivative equal to, and we reduce the power by 1, so x squared becomes x, and we times it by the original power, so it becomes 2x. Now 2x, I'm just going to say to the power of 1, and 1 I'm going to say times x to the power of 0. That's what they are. So 2x to the power of 1, the power becomes 0, so x 0 is just 1, and so we times that by 2, so it's just plus 2. And 1 is just a constant, and a quick way to remember is constants just disappear when finding a derivative, but how this works essentially is that becomes x to the minus 1, or 1 over x. 0 becomes the coefficient, so we times 1 times 0, and no matter what all this is, we times it by 0, so it's just going to give 0. So we can just ignore constants, we get rid of them. So so we times by 0, and it all becomes 0. So we're just left with 2x plus 2 as the equation of a tangent to a curve for its gradient at any point. So let's now do it in its form where I've completed the square to get it to be x plus 1 all squared. And this tells us actually how to transform the graph x squared, because we've added 1, we transform it to the left by 1. So it would be the perfect parabola but crossing here, like that. It just moves it 1 to the left because of that plus 1. And so for the chain rule, what we need to do is x plus 1, I'm going to let that be equal to t. So I'm going to say t is equal to x plus 1. So really, y is now equal to t squared. And first, what I'm for the chain rule, we're going to figure out the derivative of this with respect to t, so the whole thing with respect to t, which would just be 2t, because we'd use the power rule on it, 2t, times by the derivative of t with respect to x. So what we're going to do there is we're going to do so 2t times by the derivative of x plus 1, which is t, dx. All that is the same as putting so also it's putting 2t times derivative of x is 1, derivative of 1 is 0, so that's just 1, so we times it by 1, t is x, so that is still equal to 2 times x plus 1, which is t, times 1, which is equal to 2x plus 2 when we expand that bracket. So again, same answer. Just two different ways of doing it. So obviously you can't always use the power rule. You can't always get in that form. So sometimes it's better to use the chain rule, which has the general formula of the derivative of f of x respect to x is equal to the derivative of f of t with respect to t times the derivative of t with respect to x. So that's all you do really for the chain rule. So hope that helped, and the next video I'll be covering the product rule. So thank you for watching.